Hi, so today we're discussing the outcome of the poll asked about the correct declarations around giving funding to conference organisers. And I would say that instead of following a formula on this type of thing, what's most important of all is that whatever you say must accurately reflect your actual pharmaceutical company involvement. So I'll just put that out there straight up. This is from 39140524, a case where the defendant is Jazz Pharmaceuticals. There was a patient organisation events web page. It had details of a conference and some on-demand viewing, and at the bottom of that web page there was a declaration saying that the conference had been kindly supported by, and then named the pharmaceutical company sponsors. The complainant said that this was incorrect because, first of all, it should be from the outset and the end of a web page does not meet that. But they also felt that this was a grant, and so it was incorrect to refer to it as support. Now, in terms of the poll results, 3% of you said you would be happy that wording supported by, 33% felt that it would be funded by a grant would be an accurate amount of wording, and 64% of you said it would be sponsored by. So who's correct? Well, in this case, Jazz defended and the panel agreed that clauses of the 2024 ABPI code 23.2 and 23.1 in relation to donations and grants to patient organisations were not relevant because this is not a grant. So as I say, the panel agreed with that, the argument being that with donations and grants, you're generally not expecting a benefit in return to a pharmaceutical company. When there's a benefit expected to the pharma company, in this case attendance at the Congress, etc., it's generally going to be a sponsorship which would be governed under clause 25.3 of the 2024 code. So in that case, the panel agreed with Jazz Pharmaceuticals. However, they felt that the wording in the contract with the patient organisation was not clear enough around how this should be declared. As a result, they came up with the wording supported by, and the panel felt that was wrong. They felt the wording should be sponsored by, as it has been defined under the code. They also felt that the wording in the patient contract, which asked them to make the declaration in a prominent manner, prominent is not the same as being at the outset. And Jazz argued that at the outset meant the materials contemporaneous with the actual conference, not afterwards. The panel disagreed. They said that everything in relation to it should be at the very start from the outset set, so top of the web page. Now, this issue around the wording about if it's a sponsorship, you have to call it a sponsorship. So we can see where the PMCPA's mind is going. But I have to say I agree more with the comment made in the poll from Sanda, which is, well, what does sponsored actually mean to viewers of that patient organisation web page? Would they know it was funding? And so, this may be why many of you went with the wording funded by, because I think in common parlance, funded by may be more clear as to the involvement than just this word sponsorship, which may not mean much outside of the industry. However, as I say, we can see where the panel's heads are going with this. So it may be that you want to still use the word sponsorship if it's a sponsorship, but it doesn't stop you then explaining via means of funding towards this, but not involved with X, Y, Z. As usual, any comments you have on this, do put it in the comments below.